How much protein do I need to build muscle and lose fat? I'm Kyle Madsen. Let's find out right now. Let's get it. There's a lot of debate on how much protein you actually need to build muscle. Some people say 1 gram per pound of lean body mass. Some people say 1 gram per pound of body weight, or 0.8 grams to 1.2 grams per pound of body mass. So how much protein do you really need? Well, that answer is going to depend on how big you are, what your goals are, and what level of activity you have in your life. If you're small, not very big, and want to get bigger, you're actually going to need less protein than someone who's the opposite. A lot of people think that when you're smaller and trying to get bigger, that you're going to actually need more protein. But that's not true at all. It's actually way easier to put on muscle with less grams of protein when you're smaller and you're trying to gain weight. Likewise, if you're already really big, very active, and trying to lose weight while maintaining and gaining muscle, you're going to need the most amount of protein possible. Because this video topic is on how to gain muscle and lose weight, we're going to focus on individuals who are trying to gain muscle while in a calorie deficit. 1 gram of protein per pound of lean body mass is pretty standard. I like to go 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. I recommend aiming for 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, but I also recommend trying to go higher if you can. It's hard to work that into your diet, but I'll explain why it's beneficial. I recommend more protein when you're in a calorie deficit because your body is more likely to be in a catabolic state. When your body's in a catabolic state, it's going to be looking for more amino acids. And if you're not eating those, it's going to have to break down your muscle. That's why when you're in a calorie deficit, it's important to have a lot of protein that your body can readily use rather than break down its own muscle. Likewise, that's why it's less important to have as much protein when you're always in an anabolic state. When your body's in an anabolic state, it's not going to break down its own muscle to find amino acids. That's why it's less important to constantly have protein. It's still beneficial, and I'd recommend it, but it's less important. For example, if you're about 190 pounds, aim for 190 grams of protein. It's really simple, really easy, and you don't always have to do it. You just want to be ballpark. Think of it more of like a weekly total than like a weekly average. You want to be able to have 190 grams. Some days it's going to be 200, some days it's 180, 175, 205. It really isn't that important. It's just as long as it's ballpark and consistent throughout the week. Once again, if you want to build muscle and lose weight, it's very important you're getting at least 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. That's not all you need to know about protein consumption though. Also, you need to be having protein frequency. You want to be eating protein 5 different times a day. Now there's diminishing returns as you go higher, but eat no less than 3. 4 is better, and you get even slightly better results if you're eating it 5 times a day. When I'm actually constructing my meals and eating them, what that's going to look like for me is I'm going to be having about 40 grams of protein per meal. Now, that's not necessarily that I'm having 4 or 5 meals. Those could be snacks. Those could be like a larger one. I like to have my French toast in the morning. That's about 50 grams of protein, but it's slowed down through my digestive tract because I have high fiber and it sits there for a while. I can actually pull out more protein throughout the day. Another important factor in how much protein you need to build muscle is your age. If you're older, you're not going to utilize the protein as efficiently. You need to be having more protein. The 3 most important factors for protein when trying to put on muscle is muscle quantity, muscle frequency, and then muscle timing. Muscle timing isn't as important because if you have enough protein in your system already, you're going to have something to draw from. For example, a lot of times people like to get whey protein shakes after lifts, which I also do, but not every time. If it's inconvenient, I don't stress over it. Like, I'm not going to run to the store if I don't have it because the odds are if I'm eating enough protein, I had protein within the last 2 hours or even an hour before my lift. When you're eating a lot of protein, it's going to be in your blood. Not all protein's the same. Proteins have different pros and cons between them. I'll go over the differences between the proteins in a video. If it's there, check it out. If not, it will be soon. Another aspect of muscle growth when it comes to protein is what kind of protein you're eating. For example, I like to have whey protein after a workout. If there's a kind of protein I'm going to have after a workout, it's going to be whey because whey is more fast acting. It's not super necessary all the time, but if you're looking for those gains and those improving by 1 or 2%, that's the route to take. Whey is the best protein for after a workout because your body's going to be able to utilize it fastest. Likewise, if I'm going to be having a protein source before bed, I like to have casein protein. This can come in the form of milk. And the reason for that is it's more of a slow acting protein, which means later throughout the night, you're going to slowly release that protein. because when you're in the middle of the night, that's your longest window without protein. And this is a way to kind of shorten that gap. Another question you might have about protein is branched chain amino acids. The best time to take your amino acids, I think, is in the morning. After that fasted window while you sleep, you're not going to have any of those amino acids ready to utilize. So if you're going to be taking them and you're having a high protein diet, you won't need them except for when you wake up in the morning after that initial fast. Amino acids are a good way to break a fast, so have them for breakfast. If you're working out hard, you have a lot of muscle, and you're trying to diet down to a lower body fat, that is the time you need the most protein possible. I like to aim for 40 grams of protein per meal. This allows me to stay on track with my protein goal for the day. If you have a question about how much protein you think you should be getting, and what specifically would work for your style or what you're aiming for, comment down below. Maybe I'll do a video on it. Maybe I'll just answer your question right away. Maybe both. I'm Kyle Madison. Thanks for making it to the end. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like and check out one of these other videos. Until next time, let's get it.